Hari Bol. Nitai Gaur. Om Jnanatimirandasya Jnananjanashalakaya Chakshudunmilitam Jena Tasmai Shri Guruve Namaha. Vandeham Shri Guruvaram Shirupanugapravaram Brajarasarasigam Cha Narayanam Tam Prapanam Shri Gurum Charanam Vande Ramana Pristaya Bhutale Rupanugabhaktikam Cha Kripa Murti Narayanam. Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Shri Vasadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda. Bolo Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare. Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare. So, I was cooking for tonight's program. We were actually very busy today. It's the morning time, making many phone calls, attorneys, brokers, and then we went to do some important shopping. And we got back, I was thinking what to cook, and I was cooking. And then I was asking the boys what to talk about tonight. What to talk about. So actually there was a very important day a few days ago when we shaved up, all us boys, we shaved. So this is Purnima, is the full moon day when we shave. This is the day that we shave, but this was a special Purnima. It's called Visvarupa Purnima, Visvarupa Mahotsava, and it's a special festival. Visvarupa is the brother of Mahaprabhu. Visvarupa is the brother of Mahaprabhu. Okay, so this is a festival called Visvarupa Mahotsava. Festival about Visvarupa. Krishna and Balaram, you know Krishna and Balaram are brothers. We have the Krishna Balaram Mandir here. So when they appear as Gauranga, they're also brothers. Gauranga's elder brother is Visvarupa. Gaura is Krishna and Visvarupa is Balaram. Okay? He was a few years older than Mahaprabhu. And Nityananda is also an incarnation of Balaram. Nityananda Visvarupa. So there's a very interesting pastime about Visvarupa. When he was a young boy, you see most young boys are quite naughty, right? Like Krishna.
Yeah.
But actually Visvarupa was very serious. He wasn't so naughty.
Prema. He's very cute.
Not so naughty though.
No.
I'm more naughty. So Visvarupa is Siddha Sada in Hindi, means like very simple, sweet. And actually, since he was a little boy, he was very studious. So there's one great personality known as Advaita Acharya. Have you heard this name? Advaita Acharya. He is one of the 5 Panchatattvas. Means when Krishna came, he became Gauranga. And then other personalities came to help him preach this pure bhakti movement, the mission of pure love and devotion. And there are also expansions of the Lord's potencies. So Advaita Acharya is very important. He is incarnation of Mahavishnu. Vishnu and Shiva together came. You know Shiva, right?
Yes.
Shiva came with Vishnu together in one form as Advaita Acharya. Advaita Acharya. He's a very important person. And he was teaching everyone Bhagavad Gita, Bhagavatam, Veda Sastra, Upanishad, Vedanta. So he was famous for teaching everyone. And when Mahaprabhu's elder brother was a young boy, he would go and study from Advaita Acharya every day. Especially like classes, like classes, kirtan, how we have programs. Advaita Acharya would have daily programs, much more nice. But we are trying to serve, following the footsteps of the Acharyas. So Advaita Acharya would speak about Sastra, and when you hear Sastra, it teaches you the truth. Even sometimes some parts may not be palatable. Palatable means not nice to taste. So Harikatha is something you take with your ears. But some things are palatable, tasty, some things are unpalatable, difficult to digest and taste. Scripture teaches us, we are material bodies. We have to die. They tell us anything that's unpalatable is just the truth. that we know already, but sometimes we don't like to hear. Like we know we're going to die, but then people tell you, you know, you're going to die. People say, why are you pinching me? Yeah, I'm just telling the truth. You're going to die. We are born, we have to die. This is just the basic truth. But then also other things. We should try to find out the real goal of life and understand that goal of life and achieve spiritual self-realization, understand the true nature of the self in God, and achieve spiritual birth. That's the teachings of the scriptures. So in order to achieve spiritual birth, there's a certain kind of procedure you have to go through. That means you have to give up attachment to this body and this world and material, so-called temporary relationships. We come into this world for some time in each birth, and then we develop many relationships. But then again, we must part after some time. It's described like when many passengers come onto a train. Or if you go to the subway, the metro, we've gone to the metro a few times. You get on one station, we get on Liberty. And someone else gets on the next station. Which one? Lefford?
Rockaway.
Or Rockaway?
Airport.
Someone gets on Rockaway and gets off 3 stations down, and we get off 5 stations down. So they come together and we see each other and we make some kind of, we talk to each other. And then they get off one station, we get off one station. So life's like that in this world. We meet many people that come into our life for some time. And we become very attached to them. And then after some time, they separate from us. And then we feel very sad. But spiritual life teaches us that these temporary relationships are not our spiritual, eternal relationships. And we should try to develop our eternal spiritual relationships with God and His devotees. And our own soul has a spiritual form, spiritual body, and existence that we can achieve. But to do that, we have to give up material attachment. So Advaita Acharya would teach these things to the boy Visvarupa. And he was very intelligent, and he took all these teachings, and very early on he was thinking, I should take what's called sannyas. Sannyas means to give up everything and to surrender to God. There's different levels. Not everyone has to do it by becoming a monk. You can do it from even home life, household life. Like the gopis are actually the great example of sannyasis. Why? The real sannyas, the real monk, brahmacharya. It means we are called brahmacharis, not sannyas, but brahmachari, but it's the same kind of genre. No? Different levels. First class, second class, highest class, best. You know? So what it really means is to focus all your energy on trying to serve God and develop a relationship with Him. That's real sannyas. And if you do that, then you develop a relationship based on true love and eternal sweetness, affection, relationship, and life. And so Visvarupa, he thought he would do that from a young age. He was deciding to
So
do it.
what is you Prabhu?
You are called brahmachari.
Oh, brahmachari.
Brahmachari. He is brahmachari. He is brahmachari.
Oh.
So it means that we took a lifelong vow of celibacy. We took a lifelong vow we'll never get married or never meet with any woman.
Oh.
This is the meaning of brahmachari. But this is the external thing. Internal thing means it's a life that we are offering to God for His service. This is the real meaning. We are trying to free ourselves from anything that would be any kind of distraction. Because naturally, if you have family life, you have to look after children, you have to get a job and work very hard to maintain it. But as a brahmachari, whatever comes, we accept. It's called bhikshuk vritti. Bhikshuk means we are beggars.
Yeah.
But we are Krishna's beggars, so we don't have to beg so much.
Yeah.
Not like people on the side of today we were driving and 3-4 people, we gave prasad to them. So we are giving food to the beggars. We are that kind of beggar. We are beggars who feed the beggars.
Yeah.
But we are bhikshuk, means we don't work for a living, but we serve God, we travel here and there, speak about God, whatever comes we accept. You are taking care of us, we accept. You know, we try to serve and we go from one place to another. So this is called bhikshuk vritti. But what the real meaning is, you can be like a cheater like this also very easily. But we try to be very honest and help everyone, serve everyone without exploiting and taking from them. Just be of service to society. Real brahmachari means we should endeavor with all our energy to serve God and all living entities. Knowing that God is in the heart of everyone. And then we don't see difference, you are of one race, you are of one religion, you are of one nationality. No, God is in the heart of all, so we should serve everyone. This is our life's vow. So Visvarupa wanted to take up this vow of becoming a sannyas. And this Visvarupa Mahotsava is the day he took sannyas. So this is also the day we shave. Shaving also shows that we are renounced. We are giving up attachments. In Kali Yuga, especially this age, in the Bhagavatam says people are very attached to their hair. They'll spend a lot of money going to the salon every few days. I have to decorate. I have to get curl it, or if, I don't know the latest fashion. You have to get the latest fancy
different colors, green, blue.
Different colors, green, blue, pink.
Some crazy colors on the hair.
Or also boys like to cut their hairs in so many ways. So it's a symbol of attachment. Even now, maybe you shave here but you keep a mustache. Or you take the mustache and you keep a goatee. There's all types of attachments. So when we shave, it shows I'm giving up attachment, I'm offering my life to God. So that's why we shaved on that day a few days ago. And that was the day that Mahaprabhu's elder brother took this sannyas. He took sannyas and he left home. Taking sannyas means I give up everything and I travel like a wandering mendicant. Generally, brahmachari, they can stay more in one place. Brahmachari means student life. We are a student, but we are a student in the ashram of our guru, not in a mundane educational institute. We are students in the ashram of our guru. But sannyas means like a wandering beggar. Madhavendra Puri was a famous sannyasi. He would only eat if people gave him and asked him to eat. He wouldn't even beg. You can imagine. He was traveling everywhere and he wouldn't even eat. He wouldn't go, like if he was hungry, he wouldn't say, go please feed me. Only if someone saw, oh, sannyasi has come, take some food or prepare some food, then he would eat. He was such a famous sannyasi that Krishna himself came to feed him. One day he was in Braj and Krishna came and brought him a pot of milk and said, oh Baba, in Braj we have a rule that no one should be hungry. And I know you only eat if someone gives you, so please take this milk. And he drank this hot milk and he drank it and he felt so much ecstasy because Krishna himself gave him this milk. So this is, someone need to move the car.
No, like there's something in front.
Oh, flashing lights.
Right,
So, Visvarupa Mahotsava. So, Mahaprabhu's brother took sannyas and then his mother, Mahaprabhu's mother, Sachimata, became very sad. She was always crying. And sometime after that, Mahaprabhu's father, was it after or before? After, Mahaprabhu's father also passed away. Jagannath Mishra. He gave up his body. And so Sachimata, the mother, you can imagine, your mother, she was so sad. One son, generally if a son becomes a renunciant, then the family gets sad because it means they won't have as much connection. One of the rules of becoming sannyas is that you don't spend as much time with your family because it fosters material attachment. You're always saying, mother's always saying, oh my son is saying, oh my mother, oh my mother. Then it reinforces this idea that we are material people in a material world and we have material relationship. But that's why there's a little bit of distance. And so she was very sad because she lost her son. And then also her father left. Or her husband left. So actually, Advaita Acharya, she actually was a little angry with Advaita. Because Advaita was the one who taught this boy about sannyas. And so Sachimata thought, oh, Advaita, he was like an more elder, nice beard. And she was thinking, oh, this personality, he left me, caused my son to leave. Also, when she was pregnant before, every day she would bathe in the holy river Ganga. And Advaita would be downstream, and he would go and he would worship Shalagram. You know Shalagram? He would worship Shalagram with Tulasi, and then when he offered it in the Ganga, the Tulsi would go upstream and circumambulate Sachimata and stick to her belly. Please came. Maybe. It would stick to her belly. And she was very scared. She had many actually daughters and they were miscarried. And she thought maybe it's this Advaita. He's some kind of tantric, some kind of black magic artist. So she was very worried. So anyhow, when Visvarupa, her son, took sannyas, she said this Advaita is Dvaita. He is not Advaita. Advaita means one person who does not divide, undivided. Advaita means undivided. And Dvaita means divided or two. So she said he is not Advaita, he is Dvaita. He causes separation. And she made this criticism of him. And so later, when Mahaprabhu, her son, was giving prem, love to everyone, he didn't give his mother Sachi. Mahaprabhu is Krishna, God. And he was giving pure love and bliss and ecstasy to everyone. But Sachi Mata was feeling like she was left out. And she didn't taste this bliss. And so everyone asked, why not? He said Sachi Mata made offense to Advaita Acharya. She made offense to him by criticizing him like this. That's why it said, it's very dangerous to criticize devotees. If you criticize devotees, then you will not get love of God in your heart. You will not feel this love and ecstasy. So therefore she went one time when Advaita was dancing in kirtan, in ecstasy. He fell as if senseless in the ecstasy of kirtan, and she took the dust from his feet and took it on her body. And in this way she was, trying to beg forgiveness. Later on she asked him, please forgive me. And he said, how can I forgive you? You are Jagan Mata. You are the mother of the whole universe, because God has appeared in your womb. So in this way, everything was reconciled and she tasted prem, pure love. Okay? So I want to tell you a few more things, very interesting. So this is the story of Visvarupa. So you can remember, Visvarupa is the brother of Mahaprabhu, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. He's the brother. The elder brother, like Baladev and Krishna. He is the elder brother. So when Mahaprabhu was a young boy, he was known as Nimai. He was a little boy called Nimai, and he was the naughty one. His elder brother was very serious, but he was very naughty. Especially we see young boys tend to be very naughty. Krishna was very naughty. From the time he could crawl,
All the boys.
the first original boy who was actually God. He was when he was a young kid, he was crawling. As soon as he could start crawling, he started causing mischief. Even before that, many demons came and he caused many problems. Calling, oh come, Putana, oh come. He called all his friends. When he was a boy, he would tease the girls so much. And when Nimai was a boy, he followed in Krishna's footsteps, and he would always tease, especially, he liked to tease the young girls. One time when he would regularly he would go and bathe in the Ganga. And when Nimai bathed in the Ganga, he went with all his friends. Actually, they would roam around the hills, the villages, like a band of thieves. They would cause so much mayhem. They would pull down the tree, go and steal all the fruit from the trees and knock down. Sometimes he would throw a tantrum in the house and break all the pots and pans in the house and throw everything everywhere. One time, Nimai was a little boy, and his mother was a little bit late giving him articles to worship Ganga. And so he broke everything in the house, all the clay pots, and threw all the food everywhere. And his mother was thinking, what have you done? I'm using this for you, and you've wrecked everything. So he was very naughty like that. When he went to the river to bathe with his friends, he would spend the whole day bathing. The whole day he would spend, instead of going to school, like kids, they don't like to go to school, especially young boys. The girls may go to school. The boys, if they're 6, 7, they want to skip school or hide and skip school. So what happened is, he would say, I'm going to school. He would tell his father he's going to school, but instead he would go with all his friends to the Ganga. And when he was at the Ganga, he would go in the water when the Brahmins were doing their mantras. And he would pull their legs from under the water. And then he would go in the water and fill his mouth up with water and then come out and go and blow the water all over the Brahmins. As soon as they would finish bathing, they would come out and be clean and put on their cloth, and then Nimai would come up and spit water on them. And then the Brahmins, at other times, they would be doing mantras. He would climb on their back and close their eyes and disturb their meditation. And so they were always thinking, this Nimai, this Nimai, this Nimai. And they would go to, he would take their clothes and he would switch it. In one area, the ladies would get dressed and bathe in the river. And in one area, the men. This is the Indian custom. It's not like mixed. So he would, when they were all bathing and wearing their bathing cloth, then he would switch all their clothes. And they would come out. Or was it just
nothing else to wear but girls' clothes?
Yeah, then they were like, what to do, And then he went to the girls, the little girls. The custom in India is the little girls, they perform puja to get a good husband. So they would bring offerings and arati paraphernalia, and they would start. preparing their worship. And what happened is he would go and he would eat all their offerings before they offered it. You can imagine all the young girls had made all their offerings, 6, 7-year-old, 5-year-old. And he would take everything with his friends and he'd start eating it. And he'd say, "Oh, I am the Lord. I am God." And they would all be like, this is a great offense to say, you know. A little boy is saying, "I'm God. And worship me." And he said, "You are doing this worship for someone else. You should do this worship for me." And they would say, they would all chastise him. "Oh, Nimai, you should leave." And they would complain to his mother, Sachi, and his father, Jagannath Mishra. But he would say, "Unless you offer the puja to me, I will curse you that you will have a very old, ugly husband. And many co-wives." Especially ladies don't like to have many husbands. Or many wives. Because then they all have to compete for the attention of the husband. So Nimai told them, if you don't worship me, you'll have many co-wives, and your husband will be very poor and very ugly and crippled. You know? So worship me. And they would think, what is this boy saying? You know? And he would take the mala, put on the mala, and eat the bhoga every day like that. So this is because he is Krishna ultimately. He is the master and beloved of everyone. So he is trying to attract people's hearts by playing in a mischievous way with them. He's acting like this to play with them and to gain their hearts. It's one way to gain someone's love and affection by this kind of mischievous play. And especially we see Krishna and Mahaprabhu doing this, and it's kind of like the archetype of naughty boys, especially when they're very young. They like to be very naughty. So this is Gauranga's boyhood lila. But once his brother took sannyas, he started to change. He started to study more. He started to go to Advaita's school also. And his mother was very worried. Oh, he's going to Advaita, Acharya. Then my other son will also take sannyas. And so that's when she was criticizing Advaita Acharya. Oh, he is Dvaita. He's not Advaita.
The same as Prabhupada was doing sannyasa.
Visvarupa.
He asked his wife, me, tea or me?
Tea or
I
me?
said tea.
Actually, Visvarupa Mahotsava is also the day that A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Prabhupada took sannyas. It's also that same day, many years later, in our ashram, Shikeshwati Gaudiya Math, he took sannyas. But before he took sannyas, it's funny that she mentioned a funny story. He came home one day and his wife had sold all his Bhagavatam, right? Gita or his scriptures. Yeah, she sold them all to buy chai, tea. And he was very upset. You sold my books, my scriptures, my scriptures, and you bought chai, tea. He was very upset. She said, "What is the use of this stuff? Oh, it's just for people who don't have anything to do. Only reading, no activity, no engagement, not working." He had failed some jobs or business that failed. And so she was always angry with him, and they didn't have so much money. He had one business, another pharmacy business. He made many different kinds of medicines. He was very good at that. But when the business failed, then the wife became very upset, and she thought, "Oh, let me sell his books, then he'll get really angry." She thought, sometimes wives like to anger their husbands. So she thought, "Oh, if I sell his Gita, just see, then he'll have to work hard and he'll get in line." But she didn't expect what would happen. He was very angry. He said, "Oh, you sold my Gita for tea. What do you want? Do you want tea or me? Either me or tea."
Tea, right.
And she said, "I'll take the tea." I'll take the tea. And Prabhupada left and took sannyas. Why? This is the danger of material attachment.
But she's still alive?
No, this is very old history.
Oh.
Old story.
But he get a son.
Yeah. He had some sons. Later on, she was okay. So, back to the story is that when he was a boy, Nimai was very naughty. But after his brother took sannyas, he became more serious. And he was also thinking, he would have dreams where his brother would come and tell him, "Oh, you should come and follow me." And he was thinking, "Oh, can I take sannyas?" Already, and then his father left. And he was married one time, Lakshmi Priya, one beautiful, she's like the goddess of Lakshmi in this world. She's Mahalakshmi. But when he went to Gaya to do his father's ceremony of Shraddha, then he got initiated there in Diksha Mantra from Ishwar Puripal. And when Mahaprabhu was initiated with the Diksha Mantra, Gayatri Gopal Mantra, he was chanting this mantra and it arose. By chanting this, then Prem awoke in his heart. He was always crying. He became Bhavuk Nima. He was always crying out in love of God. He was always crying, rolling in ecstasy. And then he came back to Navadvip, and he was doing kirtan the whole day and night. You know, like we do kirtan, except dancing ecstatically with all his associates. And everyone thought at that point that what has happened to Nimai? Before he went from his naughty age as a boy to a pandit. He was a great scholar, and he would defeat everyone in arguments, in logic and arguments, and different grammar. He would defeat everyone. But then when he came back from Gaya, he became Bhavuk Nimai, always dancing and chanting in ecstasy and Sankirtan. And everyone was thinking, what has happened? He's become mad. So that time when he went to Gaya, his wife Lakshmi Priya passed away. And then later on he was married to another girl, Vishnu Priya. Also like expansion of the Lord's Swarup Shakti. So Mahaprabhu, he was starting to think, maybe I will take sannyas also. But he was a little thinking that my mother will be alone. Already her father, the husband left, my father, and my brother left. And if I leave, what will happen? But he was thinking, I have to do this. Why? Because the Lord performs his pastimes. When Krishna was young, he performed his pastimes in Braj. And he shows these pastimes that attract the devotees' hearts and make them want to come to him. They're very sweet pastimes, like Rasa Lila, like Mother Yashoda's pastimes with Krishna. Very attractive. But then at a certain point, Krishna has to show us what we have to do to get to him. We have to be ready to give up everything. That's why even Krishna gave up everyone and he left Braj. For 100 years he performed, you could say, Sannyas Lila. For 100 years Krishna left, and he was every day praying and meditating on Radha and the gopis and the Brajbasis and thinking, when can I come to them? So he was showing us, first you show the sweet pastimes, then you give the separation Lila, and then you develop the mood of sannyas. Krishna took sannyas like this. And the gopis all also took sannyas. When they were only very small baby girls, they did a vrat that only we will give up all material attachments, all material family, everything, and we will only give ourselves to Krishna. This is real sannyas. So that's why the gopis did a special vrat called Katyani vrat. It's a very special vrat you do in the winter time. And there's a special mantra. Katyani. The gopis, it was real sannyas means, actually all sannyasis, what does it mean to take sannyas? When you take sannyas, it's a special yagya, and you get the Gopi Bhav mantra. You take a mantra that is about serving and following the footsteps of the gopis. And this is because the gopis are the real and true sannyasis. Because the gopis have no one in their life but Krishna. They do everything for Krishna. They have no attachments. They have no distractions. They are not at all thinking about anything else. Only how can we serve and please Krishna. That is real sannyas. So when the gopis were very small, they did this mantra. And they chanted a mantra called the Katyani mantra. It's a very special mantra. Katyani Mahamayi Mahayogini Dishwari Nanda Gopa Sutam Devi Patim Me Kurute Namaha. O Goddess Katyani, O Mahamaya, O Yogamaya, O Purnamasi Devi, O Swarup Shakti Srimati Radhika. They prayed to the Lord's potency, Mahamaya, Yogamaya, and ultimately Srimati Radhika. Please let no one take any share of us. In this world, everyone tries to take shares of us. Our whole family, our friends, companies, we work for, everyone wants a share of us. And they want to divide us up and enjoy us. But the gopis prayed, O Purnamasi, O Radhika, please let no one take any share of us. Let us only be offered to Krishna for his pleasure and service. So this is called sannyas. So the gopis took sannyas, Krishna took sannyas. So Mahaprabhu thought, now I've played my boyhood pastimes and I have attracted everyone by my playful pastimes as Nimai. But now I have to show what is the real process to attain perfection. The real process to attain perfection is called sannyas. Sannyas means at a certain point in life, we all should renounce everything and just surrender to God. It's described in the Vedic tradition, the Vedic culture. Brahmacharya is from up to 25 years. Then up to, you can take household life from 25 to 50. And then from 50 to 75, you can renounce as a vanaprastha. You can go to the forest or retire. But from 75, you should take sannyas. Full surrender of everything else. In Vedic culture, it's like that. Everyone would take sannyas before. In Kali Yuga, people are very attached. They don't want to take sannyas. There's many stories about this. We won't tell them. It'll take too long. People don't like to take sannyas because it means very difficult, especially when you're old. Like Swami Prabhupada, when he was like 7 years old, he came to America and started this huge mission and movement, and organization. Alone. No family, no helpers, no money. Just depending on Krishna. That's real sannyas. I will do everything to serve you, need nothing for myself, not worrying if I die tomorrow or if I fail. and offering everything to Krishna as he likes, he can do everything. Prabhupada wrote that I am like your puppet. You are the puppet master pulling the strings, so I will dance as you like me to dance. When he was coming on the boat, Jaladutta, he prayed like that. Oh Krishna, you are my beloved, my master, and I am just like your dancing puppet. As you direct me, I will dance for your pleasure. This is the mood of sannyas. So Prabhupada also took sannyas in this Visvarupa Mahotsava day. And Mahaprabhu, following the footsteps of his brother, he also decided to take sannyas. Mukunda Sevan Vrata Koilan Nirdharan. What does it mean to take sannyas? A vrat. You know what a vrat means? A vow, very firm, sankalpa, a firm vow. Sevan Vrata, a vow to only serve Krishna. That is sannyas. So Mahaprabhu said, I will take this vow of serving Krishna and I will give up everything else and I will go to Krishna. That was his mood. Because he took the mood of Radhika and he was seeking then Krishna. How to find Krishna and how to spread this path of bhakti to everyone. That was Mahaprabhu's mood. But his mother was very sad, thinking, she was thinking, my Nimai will take sannyas. So one time before he left, he offered her pranam and did parikrama and told her mother, an ordinary son, he tries to get a good job and make money and provide for his family. But that's very temporary. How long will it last? But if you are very lucky, your son becomes a sannyasi and he helps the whole world and he gives you a transcendental wealth. That if your son or your daughter or anyone in your family becomes a pure devotee of God, then it's described that 21 generations become liberated. So an ordinary son, they work and they help maintain and take care of the mother and the family. But someone who is a real sannyasi or becomes a real devotee, you can imagine 21 generations become liberated. They get mukti. So what would you like better? That your son is helping you for some time, or he delivers your entire family 21 generations, backwards and forwards. So Mahaprabhu said like that, you shouldn't worry. You should feel like we're very lucky. Like Krishna, there's many bamboo in the forest. If one bamboo is selected to become Krishna's flute, then the whole society of bamboo trees becomes very happy. They say, look at our son. He is now, Krishna is playing him with the flute. Radharani hid his flute. She's hiding his flute.
I got to get a flute.
So like that, you imagine a bamboo forest. And from inside the bamboo forest, one piece of bamboo becomes Krishna's flute. Then the whole society of bamboos becomes very happy. Our son became Krishna's flute. So it's like that in society. If someone becomes a sannyasi and they serve God with all their energy, dana mana vachana, with their body, mind and words, they only serve Krishna, then everyone becomes benefit. Right? Everyone gets benefit from this. Everyone gets benefit. So Mahaprabhu also, in this way, took sannyas. And Sachimata was so sad, but actually, after he took sannyas, sometime later he came nearby, not so nearby, but at Advaita Acharya's house. And Sachimata also came and saw him. And he said, Mother, if you want, I will come back to the family and help you. I know this must be very painful for you. It must be very painful. So he said, if you want, Mother, I'll come back. Because the rule is that you shouldn't take sannyas without permission. And so he said, look, if you give me permission, I'll go. But if you want, I'll come back. And seeing her son's humility and his softness, then she also said, no, I don't want you to break the code and conduct of this ashram, dharma. You can be sannyasi. But he said, where should I go? He was thinking to go to Vrindavan, but she said, you should go to Jagannath Puri. This is one of the holy dhams where Lord Jagannath is. And she said, if you're there, then you're close enough to me, I'll hear news about you. She was in Navadvip. It's not like today where you can call on the phone and hear a message, It's like 800 kilometers, something like that. But it was closer than Vrindavan. So she said, okay, at least hear about you. So this is Mahaprabhu's sannyas lila. When he was very young, he was playing with everybody, but afterwards he became very serious. Sannyas means to be very serious. Ultimately, we're giving up. You have to be serious because you have to know that we're giving up something that's very trivial to gain something that's very wonderful. That is sannyas. We're giving up something small to get something very great. to take sannyas means we have to give up the comfort of home and security. Security, I have a house a roof over my head. I have a job, but I know that I get enough money to take care of myself. I have enough to eat. But sannyas means you give up this, and you're just a wandering beggar, begging for love, begging for seva, begging for relationship. But you lose that security and that comfort. But it's a small thing to give up to gain the greatest thing. By doing this, you can gain the greatest thing, which is eternal. Not only eternal salvation, we don't really want that. We only want prem, pure love. Mahaprabhu said one thing, actually, very important. Generally, people are greedy for wealth. They want wealth because wealth means comfort and security and prestige. Wealth generally means big position, nice car, nice house, people respect me. If you have wealth, people respect you automatically. If you don't have wealth, you may be a great person, but people don't care about you. So wealth means prestige, position, and security and comfort. Whatever you want, you can get. You can have a servant do everything for you. But no wealth, then. But Mahaprabhu said, what is the real wealth? Prema dana vina vyartha daridra jivan das kuri vetan more deha prema dan. Mahaprabhu said a beautiful verse. That without prem, you know what is prem? Real love, real relationship. Without real love and relationship, life is useless. The real wealth is prem. Prema dhan. Dhan means wealth. The real wealth is prem. And without that prem, life is useless. Vyartra daridra jivan. Daridra means poverty. So jivan, the life is full of poverty if you don't have prem. That's what Mahaprabhu said to his mother. He told the devotees, without love, life is meaningless. Daridra jivan. Without the wealth of love, we are poor in truth. We are actually poor. So therefore we should try to find that real love. And therefore he said that, make me your servant, O Lord, make me your servant, and just give me the salary of your praying. Let me be your servant, and the only thing I ask for is your love. I don't want mukti. Nadanam najanam nasundarim kavitam va jagadish kame mama janmani janmaniswari bhavata adbhakti rahaiti tvai. Mahaprabhu gave 8 verses. He gave 8 special verses to the devotees. He said, I don't want material wealth. I don't want followers. Nadanam najanam nasundarim. I don't want beautiful, attractive people for me. I don't want to be so beautiful and loved. I don't want these things. This is sannyas mood. Oh, I don't want this. I don't want wealth. I don't want followers, big temples, nothing. I don't want to be seen as a big scholar. Kavitamba, Jagadishikame. I don't want anything. Only life after life. May I have love for your lotus feet and service to you and association with your devotees. Kita janma ho jata tu adas bahirmukha brahma janma nahi as. I don't want to be a great person like Lord Brahma, but have no love for you. Let me be like a worm in stool, but let me have love for you, and may I be in the association with your devotees. That is the real desire of the devotee. That is real sannyas. Real sannyas doesn't mean I want mukti also. Mukti means liberation. We don't want liberation. Because liberation means, where is the relationship? Liberation is just freedom from suffering. But if God wants me to suffer, I'll suffer for Him. Liberation means freedom from suffering. But the mood of the gopis is that, oh, even Krishna wants to give me suffering, I accept that. Mahaprabhu gave another verse about the mood of sannyas. Ashlishava padaratam pinastumam ardarshanam varnamahatang kurotuva yata tatav viradhatu lampato matprananatastu sa evana paraha. Mahaprabhu said something very beautiful. With the mood of the gopis, he said, oh Krishna, you are my beloved. You are very crooked. You are a great cheater. You have love for everybody. And yet, I only have love for you. And you can do whatever you like with me. I'm not telling you to treat me nicely. Krishna, if you want, you can kick me. You can abuse me. You can show love to other people in front of me and not show me any love. Do whatever you like with me. But whatever you do, anyhow, I have given my life to you. I am yours. I am only yours. Hey Krishna, Karuna Sindhu, Dina Bandhu, Jagatpate, Gopesha, Gopika Kanta, Radha Kanta, Namostite. Oh Krishna, you are Karuna Sindhu, you are the ocean of mercy. Dina Bandhu, you are the friend of the fallen, the suffering people. Jagatpate, you are the master of the whole universe. Even more special, you are Gopesha, you are the Lord of the Gopis. Gopika Kanta, you are the beloved of the Gopis, and you are Radha Kanta. I offer pranam to you. You are the beloved of Radha. I am not saying you are my beloved Krishna. You are Radha's beloved, you are the Gopis' beloved. But let me just be a servant of the Gopis. Gopi bhartu padakpalayor dhasa dhasani dhasa. Mahaprabhu said, "Oh Krishna, let me just be a servant of the servant of the servant of the servant of the Gopis and the beloved of the Gopis Krishna. Naham vipro napi vaishyana sudra naham varnina cha grihapatir nava nastoyitirva kintu projanna gila paramartho pramabder gopi bhartur padakamallayor dhasa dhasani dhasa." Mahaprabhu said, this is another sannyas mood mantra. I'm giving you all the sannyas mantras today. I am not a Brahmin, I am not a Kshatriya, I am not a Vaishya, I am not a Sudra, I am no one of this world. I am not a Brahmachari also. Mahaprabhu said, don't think I am a Brahmachari. I am a big sannyasi. This is also false ego. I took sannyas, now everyone should worship me, bathe my feet, give me garland, give me money. Oh, I am a big guru. That's also false ego, and by this mentality you will learn to cheat other people and you will go to hell. I am a big guru. Amito Vaishnava ebuddhi hoilo hoibo niraya ghami. I am a big Vaishnava, I am a big guru, I will go to hell with this mentality. We sang that song today. This means I will go to hell with this mood. I am a big guru. Then I have no humility, I want everyone to worship me like I am God. Then I'll go to hell. Mahaprabhu said, I am not a guru, I am not a sannyasi, I am no one else of this world. I am only servant of the servant of the servant of the servant of those gopis and their beloved Krishna. This is my only identity. Ai nanda tanuja kinkaram patitam mang vishame bhavam buddha kripaya nija pada pankaja stita dulli sadrisam mang vichintaya. Mahaprabhu said, I am fallen in this world of misery. This is called the ocean of material existence. I am drowning here. You are so merciful, please lift me up out of this ocean of suffering and make me like a particle of dust at your lotus feet. A very small particle of dust means very small, humble position. I just want a small, humble position with your family and Braj. And he prayed, please give me this wealth of love. Nayanam galara shrudharaya varanam gadgara rudhaya gira ulakir nichitang vapukada tavanama grahane bhavishyati. Then he showed us what is the proper way to be in this ashram of sannyas, giving up everything. Constantly chant Krishna Nam. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. We don't want to chant like the cat is chanting, screaming. We want to chant.
You can run in the house now. You can run in the house.
No problem. You don't want to worry like that. Chant Krishna Nam and pray to Krishna. When will my eyes fill up with tears? We want to experience bliss. And love, if you really love somebody, love brings happiness. Happiness doesn't come from other things but love. Like if you feel happiness eating some kind of food you like people may say, I love pizza. Why do you say I love pizza? Because you feel happiness eating it. Or I love, what kind of food do you like? I don't know.
I like vegetarian.
Maybe you will love the chow mein tonight. If you love it, that means it gives you happiness. So if you love someone or something,
I love the curry that you make.
you love the curry,
The
samosa,
curry.
So if you love something, it means it gives you happiness. So if you love Krishna, it gives you supreme happiness because Krishna is the abode of happiness and bliss. Therefore, by loving him, you get supreme happiness. But sometimes that happiness manifests in a separation. And then in separation, when you chant Krishna, 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 then tears will flow from your eyes. Your voice will choke up. You will not be able to say Krishna. You will choke up your voice. And your hairs will stand on end. This is called Sattvika Bhavs. So Mahaprabhu prayed, when will this Bhav manifest? And I will have this love for Krishna. And I always just chant Krishna, Krishna, Krishna. And then, Yugayitam nimeshena chakshusa pravishayitam shunyayitam jagat sarvam govinda virahiname. He prayed that without you, Krishna, even a moment in this world is like many, many thousands of years. When I am separate from you, like if you really, really love someone and they go far away, or if they leave you, then you have so much pain. And so Mahaprabhu said that, oh, when you are not with me, Krishna, this whole world is void. Shunyayitam jagat gostan. This whole world is like a barren desert without you, Krishna. Please bring me to your lotus feet. So we'll stop our class today. Ultimately, this is our mood. How can we achieve the true goal of life, which is Krishna Prem? Pancham Purushartha Krishna Prem. The topmost goal of life is developing pure love for Krishna and desiring and praying to be servant of the gopis. That's why we pray. We want Krishna Prem, love for Krishna. But how to get Krishna Prem? Take shelter of Srimati Radharani. That's why Mahaprabhu took shelter of Radharani also, and took her, Krishna took Radhika's mood, her complexion, everything, and prayed only to Radharani. That's why in our line, we only pray to be servants of Radharani. We don't want to serve Krishna directly, actually, because Krishna is very tricky. He may trick you. It's described that, Krishna will say, do you want to be king of the world? Why should you be my devotee? My devotees are very poor, but I will make you the king of the world. And then you say, no. Then he will say, I'll make you Indra, king of heaven. I will make you a god like me. You can be Narayan, you can have your own Vaikuntha planet, and you can enjoy as much as you want. So Krishna will try to trick you like that. But if you approach Radharani, Radharani will only give you service to Krishna. So if you want to serve Krishna, you have to take shelter of Radharani and serve Radharani.
Prabhu, when you're going to move down to the place that you buy upstate,
Yes.
do you have any plans, or anyone ever say they would sponsor like a Radharani?
Oh, you want to buy Radharani Diti? Oh, yes.
Like anyone
you can
ever
do.
said?
What she wants to send,
From India, we can bring Radharani. She wants to come, I think.
She needs to come?
Actually, we have beautiful Seva Kunj. Have you seen Seva Kunj picture? You know the Seva Kunj picture? Radha Krishna sitting together, surrounded by their sakis, gopis. We can bring this, actually. I'll show you later. It's very beautiful. So we pray. Our mood in Kartik month, I'll tell you what we pray. Every day we pray like this. Tave vasmi, najivami tvaya vina, iti vigyayamam radhitvam nayamam sharanantike. O Radharani, I know no one but you. I know no one but you. You are my life and soul and everything. Without you I cannot live. Oh Radhe, knowing this, you should accept me as one of your own followers. Adevika kubaragad karayad yavacha yache nipatya bhuvidhandavadud patarthi asya prasadam abudasya janasya kritva gandharvike nijakane gananam videhi. We pray to Radharani, I am bowing down before you. Praying. You can pray like this sometimes. I'll give you this sloka to pray. I am bowing down before you praying. Oh Radharani, please, with tears in my eyes, I am begging you, make me one of your followers. One of your associates, Nija Ganam, your intimate Swapaksha associates. That's our topmost prayer and destination, that we can be in the company of Srimati Radhika, amongst her servants, and in that way, this is, as we understand, the perfection of existence. This is the ultimate goal of our life. Anarpita chirim chirat karunaya vachanakalau samardvaitum unat ujvala rasam svabhakti shriyam. This is called Svabhakti Shriyam. This is the sweetest, the most beautiful, the most effulgent and glorious service to Sri Krishna, being under the shelter of Srimati Radhika. So this is our prayer. So we'll do a short kirtan, and then we'll have prasad.
Yeah.
Okay?
Yeah.
We'll do arti.
No.
It's okay, we'll do kirtan and after we'll offer incense.
So you will let me know about the deities.
You can help if you like.
But anyone said they will do that?
No, we have deities we can get that they would like to come. They want to come actually. We'll show you them. They're very beautiful, but we have to, order.
Oh.
So I'm going to do a short kirtan, okay? I'm going to do a short kirtan for Mahaprabhu. Jaya Sachinandana, Jaya Gaura Hari, Jaya Vishnu Priya Pranadhana Nadia Bihari, Vishnu Priya Pranadhana Nadia Bihari, Jaya Sachinandana, Jaya Gaura Hari, Jaya Sachinandana, Jaya Gaura Hari, Sachi Mata Pranadhana Nadia Bihari, Sachi Mata Pranadhana धन नादिया बिहारी सची मात प्राण धन नादिया बिहारी जय सच्चिनंदन जय गौर हरि 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 नित्यानंद प्राण धन नदिया बिहारी नित्यानंद प्राण धन नदिया बिहारी नित्यानंद प्राण धन नदिया बिहारी गौर हे 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 जय सच्चिनंदन जय गौर हरि 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 ओ हरे कृष्ण 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 हरे कृष्ण हरे कृष्ण 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे 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 कृष्ण 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 हरे हरे कृष्ण हरे कृष्ण 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे कृष्ण 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 हरे हरे बोलो हरे कृष्ण 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 हरे राम 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे जय राधे जय कृष्ण जय राधे जय श्री कृष्ण जय राधे जय कृष्ण जय राधे जय श्री जय राधे जय कृष्ण जय राधे जय श्री कृष्ण जय राधे जय कृष्ण जय राधे जय श्री हरि जय गौर हरि बोल 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 हरि जय गौर हरि बोल हरि बोल हरि बोल गौर हरि बोल जय गौर हरि बोल हरि बोल हरि बोल जय गौर हरि बोल हरि बोल हरि बोल गौर हरि बोल हरि बोल जय गौर प्रेमानंदे सच्चिदानंद गौर हरि की जय श्री विश्वरूप प्रभु की जय नित्यानंद प्रभु की गौर नित्यानंद प्रभु गौर प्रेमानंदे हरि हरि बोल जय श्री गुरु गरंगन दार विग्रह श्रद्धा विनोद जू की लिता विशाखरी सखी गंग की जय श्री पंच तत्व जू की जय परमाराध्यतम गुरुपाद पद्म विष्णुपाद स्तोत्र श्री श्रीमद् भक्तिवेदांत नारायण गोस्वामी महाराज गुरुदेव की जय जय नितला विष्णु भक्ति वेदांत स्वामी गोस्वामी महाराज की जय श्री भक्ति प्रज्ञान केशव गोस्वामी महाराज की जय श्री भक्ति सिद्धांत सरस्वती गोस्वामी प्रभुपाद की जय महाभागवत श्लोक जी महाराज की जय सप्तम गोस्वामी सच्चिदानंद श्री लक्ष्मण ठाकुर की जय वैष्णव सौरभ श्री जगन्नाथ स्वामी महाराज की जय जय श्री भक्ति वेदांत स्वामी महाराज श्री प्रभुपाद की जय श्री भक्ति वेदांत त्रिविक्रम गोस्वामी महाराज की जय जय सपर्षद श्री प्रभुपाद की जय नाम अक्षय श्री हरिदास ठाकुर की जय श्री स्वरूप सनातन भट्ट राघनाथ जी गोपाल भट्ट दास रघुनाथ सत गोस्वामी वृंद की जय जय श्री प्रेम को श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर श्री गौर भक्त वृंद की जय राधा कृष्ण गोप गोपी गोविंद सब नाम कृष्ण मंडल धाम की जय श्याम कुंद राधा कुंज मुनगं तुलसी भक्ति देवी की जय चरण संप्रदाय जय जय धाम की जय कृष्ण वृंद की जय समागत गौर भक्त वृंद की जय निताय गौर प्रेमानंदे हरि हरि बोल वंचकपति ज्ञानं पावने वैष्णदेवो निताय तुलसी Hare Krishna. Take some prasadam. Hare Bol.